Caitlin Moran, thank you very much for joining us. Every woman that I know in their 40s wants to know, does it get easier than this?
No. No. I think the problem is that when you're approaching middle age, you think it's going to be the easy bit. Like the first book that I wrote, How to Be a Woman, was all about being a teenager and then your teens. And you think that's the hard bit. You're working out who you are, you're working out what kind of sex you like, you might have given birth to a baby, you might have found a partner. And you think when you get to middle age, that's got to be the easy bit, right? Like your kids will be a bit older, everything will be sorted. It'll just be a series of long lunches with gal pals. Maybe you'll buy a pair of elegant linen trousers and it's going to be a cinch. No, because in middle age, you realise that when you were younger, the luxury you had was that your problems were your problems that you have. When you get to middle age, your problems are everyone else's problems. Your parents are aging, they're getting ill, your children reach their teenage years, your friends are divorcing. And any reasonably sorted middle-aged woman becomes some kind of fifth emergency service to everyone around her, holding society together for literally no pay.
What would happen if middle-aged women just stopped doing all the unpaid labour that they currently do?
That would just be everything would end in a second. And within a week, we would have the rest of the world on its knees going, please come back. We don't know how to use the washing machine and the children are angry.
You mentioned your first book, How to Be a Woman. When you look back at it now with the benefit of age and experience, do you think you got it right? What do you think you got wrong?
Well, that's the other great thing about being young, isn't it? Every 10 years you think, I know everything now. This is me. I'll be like this forever. I think I know everything. But this book starts with me now at 45, going back to visit my 35-year-old self and just laugh at her whilst giving her a big old hug. I mean, a lot of the things that I wrote about 10 years ago have come to pass. Like there were huge chapters about sort of like how women shouldn't be always forced into high heels, about growing our pubic hair back, about masturbation. And over the last 10 years, we've seen this brilliant explosion of young women making amazing TV shows like I May Destroy You and Killing Eve and Fleabag. Amy Schumer's come along. So these things have all been discussed, but the conversation kind of stops when you get to middle age. There aren't movies about keeping a marriage together. There aren't TV shows about looking after your children. There aren't empowering disco songs about coming up with the best ever household roster, even if you've got a really bad back. And also, I've realised that I was far too harsh on people who had Botox. I didn't know what it was. I was a bit too judgmental. I was the Botox police. And I've had it now, mainly because I started to look like a sad, deflated Gruffalo. And it's just a thing that you can go and do, and it takes 20 minutes, and it makes you look great for half the year. It's a very practical way of looking slightly less ravaged by age.
Americans have their State of the Union address once a year where they reflect on the health of their country. If I said to you, give me a state of the feminism temperature check, how do you think feminism's faring in 2020?
When I wrote the first book 10 years ago, there was a survey that had been done in Britain that said 67% of people would use the word feminist negatively. They would go, oh, you're a feminist, in order to start an argument. So that's changed. We've seen Dior sending models down the catwalk with sort of feminist emblazoned over it. You can get I Am a Feminist t-shirts pretty much anywhere you go. Beyonce's made a song with Amanda Adichie, about feminism. So we're talking about it more than ever. It's a global news story. And we've seen things like the Me Too movement and Time's Up movement coming out of it. So it's everywhere. People are talking about it. People feel it's more accessible than ever. It does become kind of heated sometimes, overly heated. There are sort of groups that are trying to wrestle for the definition or the control of feminism. And you have to remember, feminism isn't a science. We didn't discover it looking through a microphone into a rock. There isn't a Bible of feminism. Everyone has made this up. It's a cultural movement. So you've just got to be a little bit more loosey-goosey and listen to all the sides and go, we're making this together. Everybody can disagree. That's fine.
How do you see the intersection of social media and cancel culture with feminism?
I mean, I am a centrist mum. I'm just like, I don't want to upset anyone, so I can see both sides of it. So cancel culture is generally a younger generation of liberals trying to teach an older, possibly smugger generation of liberals that things have changed and there are new words and there are new rules. And the only power that they have to do that, because generally they are not getting jobs as columnists or TV presenters now, is to go online and present this huge force and to cancel older people who might have got something wrong. So in a way, that's what always happens. Young people invent new words, they tell the old people. That's generally a healthy thing. We're learning new things. Where it goes wrong is that there are so many young people I know now who are so scared of ever saying the wrong thing on social media that they will not talk about certain subjects at all. And the irony is that this young generation of liberals who are cancelling people, in a couple of years' time, they'll be the older generation of liberals, and they might have an even younger generation behind them cancelling them for getting stuff wrong. So again, everybody's just got to relax a little bit, be a little bit less shouty. I'm just being a mum here. Just everyone calm down and get on with each other.
Caitlin Moran, it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for making time today.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.